Come see this thing 1565. AI scam builders, privileged become affected. Come on, Gaia. This is a series where I summarize rantatonne posts made up of at least 3 things I've read, seen, or heard. First question, is this the current timeliest Indian scammer story ever? I truly believe that most people desire X thing that they think is good for them, then go on to find the best Y that they have to do in order to achieve that X, even if that means ignoring the Z negatives resulting from Y. The more aware one becomes of those negative Z's, it's common to nth down and reinforce how important and good having X is to justify continue doing Y instead of finding a different Y to do. The 2 examples highlighted in this section of an AI scam from India and somebody who's building a solar car show that this common thing that I'm pointing out here isn't something I think is inherently negative. This is a natural thing that we do. But some people, like in the AI scam, that guy seemed to be just doing it like, I just want this power, I want this level, I want this status. Whereas in this other hand, this person seems to be really just trying to do something good and just bit off too much that he can chew, and he just doesn't want to just admit that. So when you find yourself being scammed, there are degrees to that, and that leads us to the next section, a degree in what though? There's a trope that I think Hillary Clinton gave one of the best examples of when she was talking about war, and she was talking about, yeah, the men die, but then the women and children are the ones who suffer the most. So there's that cases where like X happens, women affected the most. But in this case, when you're talking about the firings going on in mostly the welfare state and certain aspects of the job markets in the United States of America, I think women are most affected, but that's mostly because women, especially Black women, are overrepresented in certain fields, especially when it comes to public sector. So if you have a whole bunch of public sector people being fired, just by the higher percentages of them being in there, they're going to be losing their jobs. And this is something that I was talking about the other day with Hunter Biden. Like, I'm not dismissing his issues, but he's actually privileged enough to have access to certain issues that other people don't have. Like, if I'm not privileged enough to be in a DEI's protected group to get a job based on my happenstance of birth, then when there's firings or when that's not important anymore, that privilege is taken away, then I'll be losing that job. And many of those, like the people highlighted in the video in this section, could think about this because they're complaining justifiably about losing their jobs, saying, but I have a degree in this, that person has a degree in that person is qualified to do this, but they hardly ever really mention specifically what that degree in. It's just like by the virtue of having that credential, regardless of what it is, that is valuable enough to be employed. But it's not, and I'm also adding my lived experience of having an undergrad in graphic design and a postgrad in animation. Last question, is this a valid reason to rubblize Iran? Y'all gotta see this very accurately named spider tail horned viper that has this spider-like appendage on its tail and it wiggles around and a bird comes in. It's like, scam, die. And that's natural. I don't think it's evil for doing this. We anthropomorphize things like nature because they don't care for individuals like humans do. It evolved to survive the win-lose relationships that are common outside the expectations human actions have given us. And the schooling indoctrination complex is a societal organism made by humans that has evolved to exist in the swamp that the state creates. Like, large language models are not some magic thing that popped out of nowhere. If the schooling indoctrination complex did not have the state monopoly compelling people to use it, then better systems of obtaining an education would exist. Public or private sector industries that did not evolve with technology could not be propped up by the state, and systems that are not so focused on retention or recitation of information would have factored in what sort of content is most applicable and valuable in the changing reality of the actual open, voluntary, cooperative marketplace.